Hello students, welcome back. In the last session we have studied about inner classes and how inner classes are useful in event handling. We have also seen an example program based on it. In today's session we will study about one more type of inner class, that is anonymous inner class. Anonymous inner class, as the name suggests, it is the class without a name. We can declare classes in Java without even declaring name for those classes, and such classes are called as anonymous inner classes. Anonymous inner classes are useful when you want to create a class which inherits some other class or an interface, or it overrides the methods of other class. In such cases we can create an anonymous inner class. Anonymous inner class are also useful when you want to create a single object of a class. Okay, so let's study about anonymous inner class. As I've said, anonymous inner class is one that is not assigned a name. So it is a class that is not assigned a name. A class without a name is called as anonymous inner class. You can create an inner class without specifying a name. As I've said, this is known as anonymous inner class. It might look strange at first glance when you use an anonymous inner class, but anonymous inner classes can make your code easier to read because the class is defined where it is referenced. The anonymous inner class are directly defined when you are referencing the class. Anonymous inner class can be declared directly inside the argument list of a function as well. Okay, so we will study about anonymous inner class with an example. The last example which we have seen on the inner class, where we have used inner class to handle an event, the same example again we will write by using anonymous inner class, so that we can differentiate between an inner class and anonymous inner class, and we can understand how anonymous inner classes can be useful. So we will create a same example program, that is an applet with a button and a label and similarly when we click on the button, text will be displayed on the label. For this, first I'll create the same program by using inner class, which we have done actually in the last session as well. Then the program, one more program we will write where we convert the same program into by using anonymous inner class. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I'll open Notepad. Okay, this was our last program. So okay, no, this, okay, this was our last program, button demo. Okay, and in this program, as you can see, we have a label declared here. Label is instantiated here. Button is created, button b1. Button has been added, label has been added, the listener has been set or registered. We have this inner class, you can see, class within a class. So our outer class is button demo 1, and inside that we have my listener class. My listener class is inheriting action listener, and as it is inheriting action listener, it has a method action perform, which simply displays some text on the label L1 when we click on the button. And this is the registration of a event with a button b1 dot add action listener, and we are passing here an object of my listener. Object of my listener is passed because my listener, it is the event handler. To add action listener method, we have to always pass an event handler object, and that we are passing here. Here even the object, if you look at, we have passed anonymous object here, like the anonymous inner class which we are going to study. Here object passing is also by using anonymous method, means the object which we have created has no name here. We have new my listener. I have already told you about this. The same statement can be written like this also. We can say my listener m is equals to new my listener. So here we have created an object of my listener with the name m, but here if you look at, the same thing we have done here also, but here no name is created. Here we have a name m, and in this case we can write it like this also. We have created an object of my listener m, and that is passed as an argument to add action listener. Or if you look at the code, m is only used once. Whenever you use an object name only once, in such cases you can, instead of declaring an object separately, what you can do is you can create an object directly inside the definition function call itself, or inside the argument list itself. So here itself I can have an object. Okay, so that we did earlier, and I'll just execute this program, and again I'll show you the output of this. The program name is button demo 1. Okay, compile. I'll execute it. Okay. Okay, this is a program. You can see we have a button, and upon clicking of a button was clicked, messages displayed, and this is done by using inner class, remember. Okay, now we will see how we can write the same program by using anonymous inner class. Now as I've said, anonymous in, if you look at this program, this inner class my listener is used at this particular point, right? We are creating an object of my listener, and we are passing it as an argument to add action listener method. Means my listener is used only once. In such cases you can go for anonymous inner class. When you are creating a single object of a class and it is used only once, in such cases you can, instead of declaring a separate class, you can have an anonymous inner class. Now I'll show you how an anonymous inner class can be created. So to the add action listener method, instead of sending an object of my listener, I can declare a complete class itself inside it. In the argument list we can declare a complete class without the name of a class. So how it can be declared? It can be declared directly by using a keyword new again. New, the name of a class or interface which you are inheriting. Now if you look at, this is our inner class, and this inner class is inheriting action listener. So when you are declaring this inner class completely here, then it is anonymous inner class, means there is no need to declare this part, okay, the name of it. Directly we can say new action listener. Action listener, and the brackets will follow, round brackets open and close. So this line is almost equivalent to this line which is used here. Okay, try to understand this, because all the subsequent examples which we are going to study hereafter will use anonymous inner classes to handle the events. So this line which we have declared now here up till this is equals to this particular line. So we have created here a class which has no name, and that class is inheriting action listener interface. Okay, now the first line is declared. After that we have to continue with our code. Then we should have a flower bracket open. So this flower bracket we are opening. So this flower bracket was open. I'll take it on the next line for better understanding. Okay, the flower bracket is open, and after the flower bracket we have to declare. Now we have a class here which is inheriting action listener. As it is inheriting action listener, which is an interface, the method should follow. The method is method which is declared in action listener, that is public void action perform. Action perform, and we have it takes action event. Again action event, the argument I'll say AE. I'll take that on the next line. Okay, so this is done. So we have action perform, then this is open, so we have to close that bracket, and after that you can see this is very important. We have to close a round bracket and then the semicolon. So round bracket closing, it is the closing of the method bracket, that is method call bracket, that add action listener which has been opened here. This has to be closed here, and inside the open close of the my add action listener, we are passing on class itself, or we are creating a class, anonymous inner class inside it. Okay, and after that there is a semicolon. So anonymous inner class is passed as a argument to add action listener here, and how it is created you can see. And as we have created anonymous inner class which handles the event, there is no need of this particular class. I'll just copy this line first and I'll paste it here now. L1.set text button was clicked. So I'll remove this inner class, because now this inner class has been replaced with the anonymous inner class. So I'll remove this. Now the program will look like this when we use an anonymous inner class. And what advantage it provides? It simply concises your code as well. The number of lines has been reduced, and yes, it simplifies your program. It makes it readable. Yes, at first glance, as it is said, it may look very difficult or very complicated, but as you are familiar with it, it is very easier to use and it is very readable. So let us compile this program. Now we have created an anonymous inner class. Let us compile and execute and verify the output. Okay, now I will compile it again. You can see the program is again compiled successfully, and if I execute it now, you can see the same output. When I click on that, it is displaying button was clicked. So the same program, but here instead of inner class we have used anonymous inner class. Now try to understand how the anonymous inner class is declared. This line is your class declaration line, but class without the class name. What we have done is, without the class name we have declared it. Only the last part is the inheritance part. If the class is inheriting an interface or a other class, that should come here after the new keyword. After the new keyword, your anonymous class inheriting any interface or class, that should come here. It is inheriting action listener interface, so we have new action listener. If it is inheriting any class like action adapter or key adapter, consider, in that case it should be new key adapter, and then the method should follow. Okay, so this is how an anonymous inner class can be used. I'll just change the message and I'll show you that the same code is executed. I'll say button was clicked. I'll just say clicked. Okay, just second. Okay, so let me again compile this. Okay, I'll execute, and you can see when I click now it is displaying clicked. So this is how we can handle it by using anonymous inner class. Okay, let us discuss one more example based on this, because as I've said, all the subsequent example programs which we are going to study hereafter will be using anonymous inner class. So I want you to be familiar with anonymous inner class. So one more program which we had created earlier, that is key demo program. This program actually what it does is, when I press any key on the keyboard, the same key is displayed on the applet screen, which we have executed earlier. And even this program was done by using an inner class. So this is our inner class myListener inheriting key adapter. Now here the inner class is inheriting adapter class, not the interface key listener. Remember, adapter class, and we have key typed event method from inside which we are displaying a key which is pressed or clicked, you can say. Sorry, pressed, because we keyboard events we are handling. I'll execute and show you the output of this program first. Okay, Java C, name is key demo .java. Let us execute applet viewer space key demo .java. Okay, so this is the output of this program. I'll just, when I press any key on the keyboard, say I pressed A, now A is displayed on the applet screen. When I press B, B is displayed. When I press C, C is displayed, and so on. Now the same program we will convert it by using anonymous inner class. We have used an inner class, I said, myListener, which is inside key demo, you can see, and we are passing here the object of myListener class. Now what we will do is, instead of using this inner class, we will try to use anonymous inner class, and that anonymous inner class we will create directly as an argument to add key listener method. Now as I've said, how we can create an anonymous inner class? Directly you can use a new keyword and then the class or interface which it is inheriting. So this line can be written in anonymous inner class by using something like this: new, then directly the class which is it is inheriting. So if you look at this, it is inheriting key adapter, so you can directly include key adapter, then brackets will follow, round brackets, and all this is inside the round bracket open and round bracket close of your function call. So inside that you have to write it. Okay, so I'll take it down, then I'll open. So this is the opening of the class, like this open bracket which you have here for inner class. Same way you have, again, anonymous inner class is nothing much. It is like an inner class itself, but only difference is it is anonymous, means without a name, that's it. So we have open bracket like this here, so we have open bracket, and we also will have a closing bracket. So open bracket, and we have a close bracket. So similar for this, we have open bracket, close bracket, and inside you should have key type method here. The inside all follows the same thing like an inner class. So again we want to override a method that is key typed, so this method will include as it is here. Okay, Okay, so now what we have done is we have created anonymous inner class here. To handle the key events, instead of using inner class which we have used here, I'll just remove it now because we have used anonymous inner class. I'll just remove it. The same work will be done by a class that is anonymous inner class. So here we haven't declared anonymous inner class which has no name, but it is inheriting key adapter, and it contains, that class contained a method, or it is overriding a method key typed, which is part of key adapter class. Okay, then again we are getting get key char. Whatever character we press, that character we can get by using a method get key char, and that is stored in message. And repaint, that is our paint method we are calling. When I say repaint, the message, whatever we have stored in message, will be displayed on the applet screen. Okay, let me execute the program again. I'll just stop it, compile it, execute it. Now you can see again we have got the same thing, and if I press a key here like A, it is printing A, B, C, D. So similar way it is also working, but only a difference here, instead of using an inner class, we have used anonymous inner class. Okay, this is about anonymous inner class. With this we will stop here. Thank you.